The moment I stepped into the Whitmore family's mansion with baby Rosie in my arms, Patricia Whitmore looked at me like I'd tracked mud across her marble floors. Her smile was the kind people wear at funerals, technically present, but completely devoid of warmth. Her gaze swept slowly over me, from my clearance rack sweater to my scuffed flats, then to the drooling baby on my shoulder. In 3 seconds flat, she'd sized me up, calculated my worth, and passed judgment. Then she spoke 5 words that froze my blood. "So, this is the girlfriend. Not welcome to our home. Not it's lovely to meet you." Just that. As if I were a disappointing appetizer at an overpriced restaurant. As if I were something her son had dragged in off the street. What Patricia Whitmore didn't know, what no one seated at that table knew, was that the exhausted single mother standing in her pristine foyer, wearing outdated yoga pants and a tired smile, earned $17,500 a month. The woman she had already dismissed as a gold digger was weeks away from becoming a doctor. And every sneer, every whisper, every carefully delivered insult that evening would be part of a test. A test she was failing spectacularly. But I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Bethany Burton. I'm 32 years old, and for the past 8 months, I've been lying to the man I love. Not about my feelings, not about my loyalty or the way my heart races when he walks into a room. I've been lying about something most people would consider a blessing. I've been hiding my success. I'm not a struggling single mother working part-time at a dental office. That's just the role I play. In reality, I'm a senior dental prosthetist at one of the city's most respected dental labs. I create crowns, veneers, bridges, and dentures, the precision work that requires years of training and obsessive attention to detail. When dentists need perfection measured down to the micrometer, they ask for me by name. I've spent 8 years building that reputation, and doctors regularly compete for my time. On top of that, I'm 4 months away from completing dental school, an evening program I've been grinding through for 2.5 years while working full-time. Soon, I'll be Dr. Bethany Burton. My salary already exceeds what most people earn in a year. My savings account holds more security than I ever thought possible. So why pretend to be broke? Why dress like thrift stores are my only option, skip makeup, and tell my boyfriend I'm worried about rent? Because 3 years ago, a man named Bradley taught me what happens when you're honest about your success, and that lesson nearly destroyed me. Bradley was my fiancé. We spent 2 years building what I believed was a future together. He was charming, attentive, everything I thought I wanted. Then one night he casually asked how much I earned. Proud of what I'd accomplished, I told him the truth. I watched something change in his face. At first, it was subtle, a flicker in his eyes, a tightening of his jaw. He congratulated me, but his voice had gone cold. Within a week, he started picking fights. I intimidated him. I emasculated him. Being with me, he said, felt like a competition he was always losing. A month later, he left. 3 months after that, he married a waitress and posted their wedding photos online with the caption, "Finally found a woman who lets me be a man." I saw those photos alone in my apartment at 2 in the morning, eating ice cream straight from the container like a cliché, and something inside me shattered. For a year, I barely existed. I worked, went home, cried, slept, and repeated the cycle. Friends drifted away. The only person who stayed was Tiffany Russo. We'd known each other since childhood but had never been particularly close. She was the life of the party, and I was the girl who spent weekends studying. But when I was at my lowest, Tiffany showed up. She dragged me out of bed, brought cheap wine, and reminded me there was still a world outside my grief. So when Tiffany became pregnant unexpectedly last year and struggled with motherhood, I stepped in to help. At first it was a few days a week. Then most days. Eventually, it became nearly full-time. Now I pay Tiffany each month, what she jokingly calls reverse babysitting. She gets freedom and extra money. I get Rosie. And somewhere in that arrangement, a dangerous idea took root. What if I used this situation to test my next relationship? What if I presented myself as a struggling single mother, overwhelmed, financially unstable, with nothing to offer but love, and watched how a man treated me? If he could love me when I appeared to have nothing, then maybe he deserved to know the truth. If he couldn't, better to learn early. I perfected the disguise. worn sweaters, stained yoga pants, no makeup, permanent exhaustion. The look of a woman stretched thin by life and responsibility. It was convincing because much of it was real. Caring for a baby is exhausting, no matter how much money you earn. That's how I met Graham 8 months ago. I was at a coffee shop with Rosie, who knocked my drink straight out of my hand. Coffee splashed everywhere. I was embarrassed, exhausted, and ready to disappear. Graham laughed, not at me, but at the situation. He helped clean up the mess, bought me another drink, and asked if he could sit with us. He saw a tired single mother in cheap clothes and chose to stay anyway. Over the months that followed, he never made me feel ashamed of my circumstances. He paid for meals without making it awkward. He brought diapers and formula unprompted. He looked at Rosie like she already belonged in his life. I told him I worked part-time doing paperwork at a dental office and that money was tight. He believed me, and he loved me anyway. Then, 3 weeks before that disastrous dinner, Graham told me his family wanted to meet me. I should have been thrilled. Instead, dread settled in my stomach. I'd heard about his mother, how she sabotaged his past relationships, how no woman was ever good enough for her son. I was walking straight into enemy territory disguised as the exact type of woman she would despise most. That night at the Whitmore mansion confirmed every fear. The house itself was less a home and more a declaration of wealth: iron gates, manicured hedges, a sprawling estate that seemed designed to intimidate. Inside, chandeliers blazed overhead, marble gleamed beneath my feet, and priceless artwork lined the walls. I was afraid to touch anything. Graham squeezed my hand and whispered, "They're going to love you." He had to know that wasn't true. Patricia's greeting was icy. Her daughter Sloane treated me like an inconvenience. Polite questions quickly turned into a thinly veiled interrogation about my job, my finances, Rosie's father. Every answer seemed to confirm their worst assumptions. The evening reached its breaking point when Patricia cornered me in the bathroom during a diaper change. "I know exactly what you're doing," she told me coldly. She accused me of trapping her son, of chasing his money, of being nothing but baggage. I could have revealed everything right then: my career, my income, my achievements. I could have shattered her assumptions in an instant. But the test wasn't over. So I stayed silent. The rest of the night passed in a haze of veiled insults and forced smiles. Later, in the car, Graham apologized repeatedly, insisting his family simply needed time. I nearly confessed everything then, nearly ended the charade, but fear held me back. 2 days later came another gathering. More tension, more subtle cruelty, yet also something unexpected. Graham defended me fiercely in an argument with his sister. His grandmother quietly offered support, hinting she saw more in me than the others did. For the first time, I wondered if Graham truly was different. Still, doubt lingered. Words are easy. Love must survive pressure. A week later, watching him try so hard to prove his devotion, bringing flowers, spending time with Rosie, choosing me over his family, I realized I needed one final test. If Graham could stand by me at my absolute lowest, not just poor, but desperate, then I would finally tell him the truth. And we would see whether love built on deception could become something real. If he couldn't, then it was better to know now, before I handed him my whole heart. So I created a crisis. We were sitting on my couch, Rosie playing on a blanket between us, when I drew in a steadying breath and launched into the most convincing performance of my life. "Graham, I need to tell you something." I let my voice tremble, an easy feat when you're about to test the man you love. "I'm in trouble." Concern instantly replaced the warmth on his face. "What kind of trouble?" "Financial." I swallowed hard. Rosie's dad stopped sending money. Completely. He blocked my number. I even tried calling from a different phone, and he just hung up. Tears blurred my vision, real ones, fueled by the strain of the lie and everything behind it. "I don't know how I'm going to make rent next month. I've done the math over and over, and nothing works." Graham didn't hesitate. "Move in with me." I blinked, stunned. "What?" "Move in with me, both of you, tomorrow, if you want." He took my hands, his grip warm and certain. "I have a 2-bedroom apartment. Rosie can have her own room. You won't have to worry about rent. I'll handle everything." "Graham, that's huge. We've only been together 8 months." 8 months is enough to know. His eyes were steady, unwavering. I love you, Bethany. I love Rosie. I don't care about timelines or what people think is appropriate. You need help, and I want to help. That's all that matters. I searched his face for doubt, for even the faintest hesitation, but found none. Are you sure? I pressed quietly. Your family would hate this. Your mother would lose her mind. He laughed. My mother loses her mind whenever I don't do exactly what she wants. She'll survive. This isn't about her. It's about us, you, me, and Rosie. That's my family. Something inside my chest softened. This was exactly what I'd hoped to hear. But hope is dangerous when you've been hurt before. Let me think about it, I said. It's a big decision. Take all the time you need, he said gently. The offer isn't going anywhere. He kissed my forehead and pulled me into his arms, and as he held me, guilt gnawed at my conscience. Testing him like this made me feel awful. But I wasn't finished yet. 2 days later, Graham called. My mom wants a family meeting tomorrow night. Okay, I said cautiously. What time should I come? Silence. Graham? She didn't invite you. His voice was tight with frustration. I told her that wasn't acceptable, but she insisted it was family only. I'm sorry, Beth. I tried. It's fine, I said, though it wasn't. It was exactly what I'd expected. Go, see what she wants. You can tell me afterward. What Graham didn't know was that I already had someone on the inside. Nana June called me that afternoon. Patricia's planning an ambush, she announced without greeting. She's been making calls all week, gathering ammunition. I suspect she'll give Graham an ultimatum. My stomach dropped. What kind of ultimatum? You or the family. It's her favorite tactic. What should I do? Nothing, Nana June said briskly. Let her reveal herself. And don't worry, I'll be there recording everything. Recording? Of course. I've been documenting Patricia's behavior for years. I call it the Patricia Files. Thorough evidence. Excellent audio quality. Despite everything, I laughed. Nana June, you're incredible. I'm prepared, she corrected. Now go take care of that baby and let me handle the reconnaissance. The meeting took place the next evening. I sat in my apartment pretending to watch television, but my eyes never left my phone. At 9:47 p.m., Nana June sent a video with a simple message. You need to see this. I pressed play. The footage was slightly shaky but clear. Patricia stood at the head of the dining table. Graham and Sloane were seated nearby, while Randall watched silently. Nana June must have hidden her phone somewhere, because the angle remained steady. Patricia's voice filled the room. This has gone far enough, Graham. I've given you time to make your own decisions, but this woman is dragging you down. Her name is Bethany, Graham said sharply. Fine, Bethany. She's a nobody, a part-time paper pusher with a child that isn't even yours. Do you understand what people are saying? How this looks? I don't care. You should. Patricia snapped. You're a Whitmore. That name means something. And you're wasting it on a woman who can't even dress properly. Sloane chimed in, her tone dripping with disdain. She's embarrassing. Graham, did you see her at dinner? That outfit looked like it came from a donation bin. And the baby spit up on the Treze rug. Do you know what that rug cost? Probably more than you've contributed to this family in years. Graham shot back. Don't be cruel, Patricia said sharply. We're trying to help you see reason. No, Graham said, voice rising. You're trying to control me, just like you did with Sarah, Michelle, and Rebecca. Patricia's expression hardened. Those women weren't right for you, and neither is this one. But I'm willing to make you a deal. I don't want your deals. Listen anyway. She leaned forward, voice cold and calculating. If you care so much about the child, keep her. Get custody. We'll help you raise her properly, but lose the mother. She's dead weight. The baby can be saved. The woman cannot. Ice flooded my veins. They wanted to take Rosie from me. Graham shot to his feet, his chair scraping loudly. Stop. Just stop. His voice trembled with fury. You're talking about a human being, a woman I love, a mother who would do anything for her daughter, and you want to steal her child? Raise Rosie here, surrounded by people who treat her like a project instead of a person? We're trying to help. You're trying to control. he said, and I'm done letting you. Patricia's face tightened. If you choose her, you walk away from this family. Then I guess I'm walking. The silence that followed was heavy and suffocating. Then, for the first time, Randall spoke. The boy's made his choice, he said calmly. It's the right one. Respect it, Patricia. The video ended. Tears streamed down my face as I sat alone in my apartment. Graham had defended me when I wasn't even there. He'd chosen me over his family, over their approval, over everything. He had passed. I called Nana June immediately. I saw it, I whispered. He's a good man, Bethany, she said gently. Whatever you're hiding, he can handle it. My breath caught. What do you mean? Dear, I'm 78 years old. I recognize secrets when I see them. I don't know yours, and I don't need to. But Graham deserves the truth before it comes out another way. She was right. The test was over. Graham had proven himself again and again. Now it was my turn to be honest. But before I could tell him everything, another crisis erupted. At 11 that night, Tiffany called, sobbing. My parents are flying in next week, she cried. They want custody of Rosie. They think I'm an unfit mother. My head throbbed. The situation with Rosie was unraveling at the worst possible moment. What happened? My mom found out you've been caring for her most of the time. She says I abandoned her. She's threatening legal action. What do you want to do, Tiffany? A long pause. Then, quietly, maybe they're right. Rosie's happier with you. She cries when I hold her. What kind of mother am I if my own child doesn't know me? My heart ached for her. Beneath her chaos, Tiffany was simply lost. We don't have to decide tonight, I told her gently. Let's talk tomorrow. Whatever you choose, I'll support you. After we hung up, I sat in the dark, listening to Rosie's soft breathing from the next room, knowing everything was about to change. The next day, I made a decision. I would tell Graham everything. No more lies, no more tests. I had no idea whether our relationship would survive the truth. But for the first time, I was ready to find out.